All right, welcome to the Eric J. the Great podcast show. Got a special guest on the show today, hip hop artist Julius Apollo. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's great for you to have me on here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, bro. No, you um reached out because you got what's his name? Obsolete. You know Obsolete.
Yeah, I know him personally. We used to work together at Rent Center a couple years back, so it's good to see him doing what he's doing right now.
Oh yeah. He pretty talented artist, man. Kind of low key.
Yeah, he like we used to talk about these type of conversations right now, so it's beautiful to watch him and see his progression and stuff. It really motivated me, to be honest, seeing him do his thing. And honestly, I could probably say that him seeing me do mine, we probably piggyback off each other.
Yeah, sometimes you need that. Sometimes, if you know somebody personally, then y'all push each other. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, for anybody ain't never heard Julius Apollo music before, we're gonna start off by playing one of his songs, and then after that, we'll get into the interview.
Need the smoke. When I pull up, it be pungent, yeah. I'm on go, and it's nothing that can stop me, yeah. Been too humble, gotta get a little cocky, yeah. And if you wanna see the best, you gotta watch me, yeah. Big smoke. When I pull up, it be pungent, yeah. I'm on go, and it's nothing that can stop me, yeah. Been too humble, gotta get a little cocky, yeah. And if you wanna see the best, you gotta watch me, yeah. Take my time, watch me push my line. I'ma shine, see that greatness on me. Said I'ma take what's mine, go hard all the time. I'ma grind till I get what I see. They gon' put ghosts in the caption. I'm 23 with the rapping. The ghost of Nipsey Pocket Dick said do that thing that we had asked ya. Them boys don't want it. Put that work in, you can have it. Put it on the line, focus your mind and get established. I'm the type of nigga make it happen from scratch. I got that hustler's mentality, so give up I can't. Okay, consistency is victory, supplying demand. Turn the words into bands to turn the haters to fans. I'm on my way to the bag. Talking paper and plastic, make a name get established. Paper lane, I ain't asking. It's for all them broke days. In a mud with no passion. This for all the hope mustard. When I should have been crashing you. Big smoke. When I pull up, it be pungent. Yeah. I'm on go, and it's nothing that can stop me. Yeah. Been too humble, gotta get a little cocky. Yeah. And if you wanna see the best, you gotta want me. Yeah. Big smoke. When I pull up, it be pungent. Yeah. I'm on go, and it's nothing that can stop me. Yeah. Been too humble, gotta get a little cocky. Yeah. And if you wanna see the best, you gotta watch me. Yeah. Since then.
Hey, hey, I gotta add that to my playlist now.
I appreciate it.
That pumping. Well, I like music, like what I'm saying. I mean, I like different types of music, but I like music where people get on there talking that stuff, man. I listen
Yeah,
to that
I'm
shit.
from the old school, man.
Yeah,
So you gotta have that hip hop. You can't forget about where this all started at.
yeah. I like when people talk that stuff, man. I'm like, you had me walking in a strip club like I'm the biggest dude in there. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, man. So first off, tell the people where you from and how old are you?
I'm originally from San Jose, California. I'm 32 years old.
Okay. And what's the first thing that come to your mind when you hear your hometown?
Uh, to be high feet, Bay Area high feet, E40, all that type of stuff. Like just just having fun, being yourself.
Okay. So as far as your city, man, like for anybody that ain't never been there, just kind of describe how it was growing up there as a kid slash teenager, some of the struggles you had to endure, growing up with your parents and things like that.
To be honest, like I lived there until I was like 7, and then I moved. I've been moving my whole life, so I lived in California from the point I was born until I was 13. But I didn't just live in San Jose. I lived in San Jose, Hayward, Sacramento, Merced. We was always moving. So for San Jose, I just remember it was a really big place when I was little. I like to go back and visit. It's a really big place. But to be honest, I don't have too much true memories because we moved from there when I was 6, 7 years old. But if you want to say I lived in Merced for a little while. It's in the valley in California, and out there was a small country town. Wasn't really doing too much. Uh, and then from there we moved to Colorado, and I stayed there for literally just about a year. Then we moved to South Carolina. Then we moved to North Carolina. And to be honest, I would say North Carolina is really where everything starts to hit for me like where life starts to hit me, because I was 15 when I got there. So school, girls, the streets, everything hit me all at once in that place. So I could really give you a little bit more of an idea from there, if that makes sense. Like, so I lived there for, it was about 6-7 years on and off. And I come from a single mother. I'm the oldest of 6 kids. So it was a lot of, I had to grow up quick, you know. I had to be the man of the house. So I got my first job when I was 15. I was working at this nice little shoe store. I was making some good money too for a 15-year-old. I was getting like $350 a week back. I didn't know what I was fucking it off. I didn't know what I was doing back then. But I got into a little bit of trouble, and just trying to be keeping up with the Joneses. I had a fear of missing out. And a lot of that, like I say all that to say that it ties into to why I make my music the way that I make my music. Like, I try to be positive for the people that came from the same type of situation as me, because it's so easy to fall into that trap and never get out of it and be stuck in it forever. And circumstances, after a while, that's your fault. So a lot of the things that I did when I was younger was really because of, like I told you, all the moving around, being the oldest. So it's a lot. I'm sorry if I went off course on that, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I understand that, man. That's why they call it the trap, man. The trap. It's just like a revolving circle. People get caught in that every day, man. So,
Yeah, exactly.
So as far as your household, did you have both parents, and you got any siblings?
No, it's I have 6. I have 6. I'm the oldest of 6. I have 1 brother and 4 sisters. And then my mom, she's a single mom.
Okay.
She had when she was 16, and yeah,
Okay.
never met my dad.
Okay, I can feel that. So mom held it down.
Yeah, she did everything she could do.
That's what's up. So what type of activities you was into as a kid? You played any sports, anything like that?
I really wanted to play sports, but with all the moving, I love football. I'm a football man through and through. I wanted to play sports. These came from when I was older. We'll get into that. I wanted to play sports, but when it was football season, we either just switched to the school and it was too late, or it was too early for me to sign up. So I never got to play no sports in school. Nah. My activities was I'm a gamer. I played a lot of video games, or I was just outside running around, running them up.
Okay. So as far as your family or any of your close friends that's in your circle, are you the first person that you to get involved in the music business, or did you have anybody else in your family or close friends that was involved in the business before you started doing it?
Yeah. My uncle, really the one who put me on rapping. When I was a kid, he would always be like, you need to rap, because he was in his early 20 stage rapping. So he put me on it. And then my mom's best friend's husband, he's the first person who I actually seen record and have the studio set up and put everything together and actually have CDs out. So I've had a couple of people around me, that have been in the game before me.
Okay. So who was
major or anything like that? They just showed me the ropes.
Yeah. So who was some of your favorite music artists growing up? Who you grew up listening to?
E40 was always one of my favorites. I like Pac. I don't know if you heard of Mac Dre. I listened to him a lot. Lil Wayne when I was getting older. Kendrick is one of my top favorites. Let me see. Who else did I really listen to? It was really just a lot of E40 and Lil Wayne when I was growing up. It was just flipping back and forth between them. And I liked The Game when he had his run. I thought that was pretty cool. Just I liked a lot of West Coast stuff. Like, I respect every area's music, but I guess it just resonates. It just resonates with me.
Okay. So where did you get your rap name from?
It's my first and middle name. Like, it's my legal name.
Oh, okay. So you just kept it like that?
Yeah. Because when I started it and it was USA because of all the movement. But then as I got older, I'm just gonna keep my regular name, call it, and just go with that.
Okay. So when was your first time going to a recording studio, and take me through that time when you first went to a recording studio for the first time, and also explain if it was easy for you to pick up or was it kind of hard?
Okay, the first time we was recording the studio, it was actually we had it we had a studio in my basement. Like I was on probation, so I was like, I let the homie set up the studio in the basement, and one of my friends had passed away. So I had spent time down there, but I never recorded anything. I would just engineer, is what I like to say. I didn't know what I was doing, just moving levers. But I actually went in there and we made a memorial song for him. So I wrote a verse for that. And man, I ain't gonna lie, it was so scary. It was all my people with me, but I was so nervous. I was like, it was like I was speaking in front of an assembly or something. His girl was in there and stuff. I was like, I hope she likes it, you know? So I went in there and it took a whole bunch of times for me to get it down. Like I kept messing up, you know what I'm saying? But we finally laid it down and everybody said they liked it. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. When you first start doing something and you got that type of positive energy around you, that's always good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as far as your process, man, are you more of a writer or a freestyler or a mixture of both?
I'm a writer through and through. Like when I was younger, I freestyled, but I really can't even freestyle no more. I'd be writing so much. I just I get the beat and I might uh come up freestyle a little bit on this while I'm writing something, but I can't just press play and record a freestyle song now.
Okay. So, you talked about the time when people was giving you positive energy in the studio when you first started recording, but uh, in your opinion, when was the first? When did you really know you had the confidence to pursue music? Like everybody had that point where you were like, all right, I really could do this. You know what I'm saying?
To be honest, it was listening. When I first heard Kendrick Lamar. I'm gonna just keep it real. I first heard the song "Average Joe" from him, and it was like, hey, this guy is from the streets, but he's not embracing the streets, and he made it mainstream. And up to that point, in my own opinion, I didn't feel like nobody wanted to hear what I had to say because I wasn't embracing that street life. So when I heard that, I was like, oh shit, I can say what I got to say, and people will believe in it. So that was the point I really decided to go and no matter what anybody said about my words, go put them on a song.
Okay. Are you signed to a label right now, or are you independent?
Independent all the way. No, I haven't talked to anybody about anything.
Okay, so no distribution deal, anything like that.
No, I just go through DistroKid.
Okay. Would you sign to a major if it made sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Like I would do something like that, but it would just have to be the correct type of deal, type of contract, you know. I'm not just gonna say, oh, this major wants me, so I'm gonna just jump on ship and I lose everything because it's fun to me. I enjoy making music. I don't necessarily want people to take over, have control of what I'm doing, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So, um, when you playing music for your friends, that's one thing. But when take me back to the time when you dropped that first project for the public to hear, like people that's not cool with you can hear your music. You know what I'm saying? Take me back to how the city was embracing you around that time when where the public can hear your music for the first time.
Mm, I would have to say that it was pretty nice. Like I to be completely honest, I've done one show, like two shows, I'm lying. And the rest has just been making it and making it and putting it out. I just really recently started truthfully putting it out on iTunes and Spotify and all that. But when I'll play a song for a friend or with the peak people they was feeling it. They was liking it. They was feeling the voice, they was feeling the style, people was acknowledging it. But I'm just trying to do it for real this time, do it right.
So, where are you located at right now?
Hopkinsville, Kentucky.
Okay, Hopkinsville. Yeah, I've been to Hoptown, man. I was stationed at Fort Campbell for a while.
That's where everything popped off at. I was living in Clarksville when I made my first mixtape.
Oh yeah, I know all about Clarksville. I was in Clarksville in 2013, 2014. So
Around the time I was doing it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
so as far as well, you could talk about both cities, Clarksville, Hoptown. Just kind of describe the music scene there for nobody that never heard of those cities before, and just kind of describe the different artists that was around those cities. Do artists work with each other, or do they mind their business? You know.
Uh, a lot of people, it's starting to come around to where people are open to working with each other. But in the past, watching and seeing, it was a lot of a I got to be the best competition instead of embracing each other to put the city on as a group. But now I think people are realizing that you have to work together to put the city on. So yeah, the artists are pretty cool. There's a couple of artists from Clarksville that actually got videos on MTV and BET and stuff like that you can look up. I ain't gonna lie, I can't remember the names at this exact moment, but they do a lot of shows and showcases out there. And here, uh, it, it's everybody. That's Clarksville. Here is everybody's really chilling, doing their own thing, real quickish. They clicked up with their people doing their own thing.
Okay. So for people that know about your music catalog, kind of list some artists that you work with so far, and list some artists that you want to work with in the future.
The artist that I've worked with was it's my homie Game Boy. Shout out to Game Boy. He lives out there in Pueblo, Colorado. You can look him up. Trench Fuego, same place out there in Hopkinsville. I mean, out there in Colorado. I got Madness J is another one. He's based out of California. Hopkinsville, I really just since I've been doing it by myself. I got me a computer. I started making my own beats and then writing lyrics and putting it out. So I haven't really touched anybody here yet. I've been looking around trying to see some people that I would want to work with. But yeah, and in the future, I would like to work with. I don't know if you know West Side Boogie. I think that would be
that sounds familiar. I think I know who it is.
He's a newer artist signed to Eminem. I would like to work with him. Obviously Kendrick, the Colds. I would really like to work with Nas. Like that would be pretty cool. 21 Savage would be a cool person to work with. Sway Lee. I would like to do something with Sway Lee. And to be honest, to be really real, I would really like to do something with Phil Collins. I don't know if you know old school Phil Collins. He's an older cat from the 80s. And he was basically like the White Prince. He did all his own instruments, all that. That would be cool, somebody to work with. He was on that song with Bone Thugs and Harmony, that Mr. Postman song, that old dude on there. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, so what would you say is your most successful project so far? What really turned things up?
The most successful thing I got out right now is that Pungent that you just heard.
Oh yeah,
the one that you played. That I just put that out, and it's got the most. They got the most streams of everything so far.
Yeah, I'm not even surprised, man. You was talking on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, what was you about to say?
I got some coming out on the 24th that I'm really excited about. It has the same energy as that. I'm thinking that might get the same type of love.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So for all your fans out there, people that keep up with you, just explain some things you like doing in your spare time when you're not doing music.
When I'm not doing music, I just like to spend time with my family. And like I said, I play games. I like to play football too, like for real. I enjoy playing football. So we got a group of people out here. We'll go on Sundays if we can and go out there and play some football. Cooking, I don't make the most things, but when I do cook, I like to throw down,
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's really it. Just simple.
That's what's up. So short and long term goals, man. What are your short and long term goals? What you want to accomplish?
Short term, I just want to gain a fan base and spread the message that I'm trying to put out to people a little bit more. And long term, I just want to look back and have my nice house. Don't got to be no 17-story mansion. Just nice house paid for, nice car. My kids got a college fund, and everything is. I'm just like I went, chased my dreams, and I made it happen. That's the long term goal, is to say that I really made it happen. I did it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's a big difference in trying and giving up and trying and saying, damn, it really came true.
Okay. So I know you say you got the single dropping on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So you got that dropping on Christmas Eve. So that'll be the last thing you drop for 2022. So for 2023, just list some things you got coming up, features, things like that.
Features, real Obsolete is definitely a feature in 2023 for sure. We've already talked about it. We're just trying to find the right track and get that out. And then everything I've been dropping so far is singles. I'm gonna work on and put out my first album in 2023 for sure. That's something that I've been doing. Shows, I can't really put my finger on that yet, to be honest. I'm gonna make a couple videos too. That's for sure. I'm gonna figure out which songs the people like and go record some videos.
You gotta shoot one to that Pregnant song.
Yeah, I can do it. So that's cool. So then there you go. That's gonna be the first video of 2023. Then let's set it right here. Pungent coming out 2023.
Yeah, absolutely. So as far as the album, do you have an estimate time frame of where you want to drop that, like summertime, spring, or you think you know about how many songs you're gonna have on there?
I'm thinking maybe 10 to 14, to be honest. And I would have to say middle of the year, like July, August, honestly, just to give me some time to put it together, because I don't want to, it would be my first solo album. Everything I've done, that's a whole album, has been with somebody else. So I really want to stamp it with me, because as I get older, it's not really about like being Drake famous with this. It's just about saying the things that I really should have said a long time ago, like I pushed a lot of things to the side that I wanted to do with myself, and music was one of them. So I had to, this is something that I really gotta say I did it. I finished it. I put that on the list of things I did while I'm laying down thinking about those last moments in life. So it's really like, even if none of this stuff sells, I still will be really happy that I went through with it and spoke the words that I had to say.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. So how do you want people to perceive you?
As somebody that brings hope, like I said, you gotta have hope in this world. It's fucked up. Let's just be real. Like, it really is. So we gotta have hope, because some people aren't as strong-minded. Some people don't have that system to bring them out of dark places. And it's just, I don't want to look around and keep seeing the sad kids and the misled and confused teens. We gotta like teach to make things better. And I've tried to, like, in songs that I'm not talking my shit, I really am speaking hope. That's really what I would say my core is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can feel that. So man, hip hop Mount Rushmore, man. Give me your top 5, man.
In order?
Yeah, it don't have to be in order. Just give me a top 5. It don't matter they dead or alive, present, whatever.
I would have to say Pac, Kendrick, Nas.
It's getting tough.
It's tough. Let me see some contributors. I could really throw Outkast up there, to be honest.
Yeah, Outkast is legendary, man.
Yeah, and then for that 5th spot, I'm gonna have to go with. You know who I'm gonna have to go with? people gonna laugh at me, but for the contribution to what we got going, I'm gonna have to put my man Nelly on there. There's a lot of stuff that he did in the early 2000s that helped what we got going on right now, but people don't ever talk about that.
Yeah, a lot of people get swept under the rug as far as what you call like a lot of people like I tell people all the time, and I had to like make people eyes woke to this when I had to break stuff down and show them stuff on the internet and stuff. Like a lot of people don't want to give him credit because he does antics and he be doing the most on social media. But if you really think about it, Soldier Boy should be on a lot of people's Mount Rushmore list for the newer generation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because like he came right after Wayne was dominating all them years. And then right after Wayne dropped that Carter 3, and then freaking little Soldier Boy came and just took over the internet. Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And like he showed a lot of people how to get money on the internet with the screaming. Like he was one of the first rappers to do that. Like YouTube even said that he was the first rapper to come out on YouTube and make millions of dollars on YouTube.
exactly.
Like he knows the owner of YouTube. Like he said he met with him in person. Like,
and that's true. Like he did. Like that. Now that you say that, when you was talking, I knew that's what you was gonna say. I was like, damn, I didn't think about Soldier Boy, but it's so true. Ringtones, everything.
well, he's not in my Mount Rushmore, but I respect what he's done. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't disregard his accolades, and he got a lot more money than some people's favorite rappers. So because he know how to market, himself.
Yeah.
But since I asked you, man, I give you my top 5. My top 5 Mount Rushmore. I got Pac, Biggie, Wayne, Hove, and last one is Drake.
Drake.
But 2 honorable mentions. I got to put 2 honorable mentions out there. But 2 honorable mentions. I love Plies.
Yeah.
I love Jeezy, and I like Lil Baby. I feel like Lil Baby is the new. He's the new young Jeezy of this generation. You know what I'm saying? So. But closing remarks, man. Anything else that you want to let the people know about what you got going on, what you got coming up, and let people know how they can find you on social media, things like that, YouTube channel, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I got, like I said, I got on the 24th, I got something coming out. I got Apollo 22 coming out on the 24th. On the 23rd, I got I Can See It dropping. And on the 31st, I got Numbers dropping. And actually, before we got on this, I'm about to record something else. I don't have a name for it yet. But all that's dropping. And you can find me at Julius Apollo with 2 P's, Appollo. On every streaming platform, it's the same. And whatever streaming platform you listen to, my music's on there. Just Julius Apollo, and it'll have everything under it. And I just plan on working on getting better at my craft, getting better at mixing and mastering, get better at making these beats and finding them hot lyrics to put on it, and just keeping it going and building a wave of my own, building a road of my own.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate you coming on the podcast. Anytime you want to come on a podcast, man, hit me up anytime. My notifications don't be coming through like a buzzer for me to hear it on my business page. So I'll be having to physically go look at that inbox here and there. But my Instagram is Eric J. the Great. I respond faster on there because I actually be hearing it go off.
Okay.
But everybody go support Apollo, 22, real dope artist from what I heard so far. And got to get out of the habit. I mean, we got all the artists, they got big machines behind them, and nothing wrong with that. They work to put themselves in that position to have that type of push. But we got to support the people that we can see every day, and we can, see them in the local grocery store and things like that. You know what I'm saying? No get in the habit of just, listening to, the people we see on Instagram all the time. Expand your horizon, listen to some of the new artists too, because some newer artists that I've been listening to, especially since I own podcasts that I be listening to now more than I listen to the people that's popping. You know what I'm saying? Because once you get to a certain point, you don't got so much money. That's all they talk about. There ain't no substance no more. You know what I'm saying? So I like hearing that. Like I feel like everybody's first 3 albums be their first hardest albums because they not far removed from being broke or poor or whatever situation they were in. Not saying they had to be broke, but you know what I'm saying. They wasn't a millionaire. So whatever situation they was in before, they're still not far removed, so you can relate to it a lot more.
Yeah, that's true. I hope to keep that fire, and to even if I do magically make it all the way to the top, to remember what I'm in it for, because that's what everybody doesn't do. They get everything and start and then forget about people, and we gotta care about each other, bro. That's what it's really all about. That's how we gonna make everything better out here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Appreciate you coming on the podcast. One of my biggest interviews drop next Monday, 26th of December at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Little Flip interview drops December 26th at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Need everybody be on the lookout for that. It's already on my YouTube channel, so turn on notifications. Eric J. the Great Podcast. And everybody go look at my other big interviews that I already dropped. Got the Rez Deshaun, Shawty Low Jr., Free Band Test, that's your artists, One Shot Deals, DMX artists, and E Blue. You one of the biggest artists in Houston. Got a song with Eric Bellinger. So go check all those interviews out. I appreciate everybody who's been supporting me. And big shout out to my supporters. I just received my Spotify wrap. I'm in the top 30% most followed podcasts on Spotify, and I'm in the top 5% most shared podcasts globally. I hit 6 different countries this year, so with over 3,000 minutes of content this year. So I appreciate everybody that's been supporting the podcast. And anytime you want to come on, bro, just hit me anytime.
All right, man. I really appreciate you letting me come on here, bro. I see what you're doing, and I respect it. I'm definitely gonna keep following your progress.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. This interview will drop in March, I think the second week of March. So just be on the lookout, and then I'll send it to you the day before it drop, the link and stuff. So
okay.
All right, man. You have a good day, man.
Yes, sir. You too.
It concludes the episode of Eric J. the Great Podcast. Everybody have a good night.